Mm. Hello again. I've had something to eat now. I thought it was wise because I am smoking Weevil plug, and it is wonderful. And as promised, in my Peterson's, let's get this right here. Let's angle it a little bit if I can. Oh, Churchwarden. It's so rocky rusticated, I'm not quite sure they call it that. Small bowl. I've actually, yeah, eating. Right. I made a curry on Saturday. I tend to make mine from scratch, and I have a high tolerance to chilies. And stupidly, I went out to the supermarket and I bought this packet of these long green chilies, and just blasé idiot, just put about a dozen of them in there. And it was hot enough on Saturday when I ate it, and I made too much and I just stuck some in the freezer, which I got out this morning to thaw. So I've just nuked it up, and obviously once it's been frozen, that kind of fusion has been going on with the chilies, and oh my god, that was hot. My mouth is still burning a little bit. I like to drink milk, but hasn't affected the flavour of this Weevil plug. And I just want to do another mention here, is that go and watch Jay's channel, DGSH, I can't remember what it is, everyone knows Jay. Go back on his videos and watch the one he did sitting in his car talking about the Thai chili he had. That's one of the funniest things I've ever had. The description of the after effects of a hot curry are perfectly described. It's almost poetry. So please go and watch that. Anyway, sorry, that was a little aside there. Churchwardens, yeah. My view is, and I know other people have said this, is that, sorry, I'm probably been evangelising a bit here. It's great to have one in the collection. I just happen to have two. Now this one, and again, this is for light your pipe, calling down there. Tranters, yes, of Bath. God, it's quite an old pipe there, so hope you like that one. Great little smoke. Yeah, again, I'm not going anything new to this. Churchwardens, where does the name come from? Nobody really knows. I'm not going to repeat all the stories and the apocryphal nonsense that's going on about where these came from. But essentially, they're all based on clay pipes. And I realise I'm going into technical mode again, and having said I'm not very technical, I'm leaving myself open to sacrifice here, aren't I? But anyway, here goes. Yeah, I mean, it's all based on clay pipes. Clay pipes going back, as far as I'm aware, to late 16th century. But I think they started off pretty short, 4 inches long. When these ridiculously tiny bowls, and apparently. Like 1/4 of an inch by 1/4 of an inch or something, say 4 inches long, and they were given various names depending what region you lived in. Fairy pipes, Cromwellian pipes, but latterly called plague pipes, because there were absolutely hundreds found in plague pits that were excavated by archaeologists in London. Fascinating. And I think sort of 100 years, or by mid 1750s, I think, they went from the sublime to the ridiculous, and you were getting these things like, excuse me, 36 inches long, called yard pipes, unsurprisingly. And it was so long they used to put like a mark or twist them into a knot at the balance point of these things. I mean, 36 inches long, that's just stupid, isn't it? And then it wasn't until Victorian age, so mid 19th century, that actually, though, I think the clay pipes at one point were called aldermans. Again, another ecclesiastical reference to them, which I think is unfounded, or the origin is not known. I certainly don't know it. So if anyone does, please let me know. I'd be fascinated to hear. Again, some of the stories about where the name Churchwarden came from, I'm not going to repeat them here. They are rather silly. I know Pipes to Jim, again, much missed, I repeat. He did a good video on one, and a Milverton 68 another one. Both have two different stories about where the origin and the name come from. My favourite is that it was named by Charles Dickens. I think satirically, from alderman to churchwarden, and there's no proof of that, but you know, think it's certainly stuck from there on. Just an aside there, Charles Dickens, one of my favourite Dickens novels is Pickwick Papers, and there's a lot of pipe smoking going on there. Tony Weller, the excellent father of Sam Weller, two of the greatest characters in that book, he smokes like a furnace pretty much throughout that book, so check it out. He also likes to drink as well, so that's a good reference point if you like, you know, the old classical literature as I do, with a bit of smoking reference. So why Churchwarden? Sorry, let's light this up, okay? I've got a bit of gurgling going on here. And 1 second pipe indicator. This is really great stuff. If I could only smoke one plug, this will be it. On my rum. No, it will be this. Absolutely gorgeous, traditional, really earthy and peaty. He repeats. I know, I hold it like that. It just seems the right way of doing it, you know. Sorry about that gurgle. But the reason I do it is because before I actually bought a Briar Churchwarden, I had some clay ones that I was trying out to see how I got on with it, really, because it was a bit of a far cry, you know, that far away from your face. And I think one of the the clay Churchwardens I got, like 17 inches long, absolutely daft. But you know, when you've got a clay pipe fired up, for those of you who've had a clay pipe, you're not going to get hold of the bowl there, lest you leave some skin behind and have blisters on your fingers, all right? So you kind of hold it there, and I got quite used to that clay pipe actually, and I've carried on doing it, and it just seems right, you know. I think most people who smoke Churchwardens will agree with that. And there's a certain elegance to it, and it is a cool smoke, you know, again with something heavy like a plug or a twist in there. That is really gurgling on that one. I packed up quite one, it's going out. Yeah, as I say. Seems rather simple to say, it is a cool smoke, but you know, by the time the hot smoke's travelled up here, it's kind of dispersed in the heat, and it may be just my imagination, but who cares? It sort of takes you back to the old days of smoking, when as if pipe smoking wasn't soothing enough. This just sort of, you know, epitomises it really for me. So thank you for listening to my ramble about Churchwardens. I would recommend get one in your collection. Certainly try one out. And say, if you're not sure about them, I know the clay ones are still readily available pretty much everywhere, I think. Just try one out. Try a clay one out first of all and see how you get on with it. Just don't hold the bowl when it's hot, right, if you're not used to them. So thanks so much. And I've done 2 videos. Maybe that's overkill a little bit. Okay. Thanks again for watching. Take good care. Bye bye.